Our politicians are fiddling while Rome burns. Literally, things are a mess in the U.S. You have to really, really turn your head far away to not realize we've got massive problems. Meanwhile, what do we see? We see Joe Biden with the red backdrop behind him, and he's talking about the other political party. I am unfortunate enough to get his Twitter updates delivered to my box. Twitter keeps delivering Joe Biden's tweets. Of course, they've disconnected the leader of the other political party. The other president got disconnected. But Twitter keeps sending out the Joe Biden stuff. And what do I keep seeing? MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. And what he's really done right now is he's waging a war against his political opponent in the public opinion. And he's using the presidential resources, right? That speech that he gave with the red backdrop wasn't a campaign event. It was apparently an official U.S. government speech, including Marines. He's using Twitter, who again seems to favor one political party versus the other, as an avenue to keep pounding this. Why? Sky News Australia says that he has retained counsel and he's preparing for his impeachment. The handwriting may be on the wall that we're going to have a change in the House of Representatives. And based on recent precedent, if that happens, he's probably coming up for impeachment. Probably won't be removed, because there won't be the votes in the Senate, but he may be impeached. Maybe once, maybe twice. Maybe they'll try to break the record to send a message, right? You impeach one guy from one political party twice, we'll impeach you 3 times. I don't know what's going to happen in these next 2 years if we get a change of the House. But I will tell you, it's going to be a major landscape change as far as who gets investigated, where the congressional resources are going, the focus of different committees, including one very prominent committee who was out in the media a lot. I haven't heard a lot from them lately. But I imagine that committee will be radically changed with new members. Obviously, some of their members have either not run for re-election or have lost their primaries. So they'll be gone, have a completely new set of faces if this change happens, and probably a completely new focus. And they'll be asking different questions. All this is maybe great for getting the answers, because we, the American people, deserve answers. We deserve a lot of answers. There's a lot of stuff that we don't get answers to, right? And that's from what's happening with drug companies, who's on different government panels, who's voting for what behind the scenes, these committees, where the money's going, how much is being spent where, international relationships, family relationships, right? There's a lot of questions that the American people deserve answers to. And you and I probably have a lot of similar questions. Would love to hear your questions in the comments. But the point is, all of our political landscape, either political party, they're dealing with a lot of these important housekeeping issues as far as what our children are exposed to, focus of the government, whether the government is being weaponized. All great, important topics. Let's get the answers. Let's get into transparency. Let's clean it up. Let's figure it out. I get it. But we're not dealing with big issues like China. China's about to have an implosion. They've been very materialistic. Their economy looks terrible. Europe looks terrible, based on their energy issues and other things, right? We look like we're headed for a world calamity, and nobody's talking about it, right? You still have, I was just in a Walmart, you still can't get baby formula, right? Like, we are not even dealing with fundamentals here, keeping people fed, keeping the country secure. Just basics of running a nation are not being dealt with. Meanwhile, people are worried about these other things, right? We have stopped the blocking and tackling. I don't know what happened to America. I love the fundamental principle of America. I am a huge fan of the old school Constitution. I think it was a beautifully written document to balance interests and protect liberty and to understand the fundamental rights of citizens and this free economy and independence and how it can benefit all of us, right? The old school America is amazing. But we've lost track of that, right? People now want the government to protect everything. They are willing to trade in all of their independence, trade in all their upward mobility to hope that maybe their parent, the government, can take care of them. That's where we're at. And nobody's looking for answers. Nobody's saying what the big problems are and dealing with the fact, perhaps, we have a runaway budget deficit. Might be a good thing to deal with. Who's talking about that right now? I don't see any headlines about that. We have a medical system run amok, and some people think that that was intentional. But it's now horrible, right? From these interventions that get pushed through that are not, transparently vetted with the American people, causing a lot of doubt. If you want to know why people doubt some of this stuff, it's the transparency is a huge issue. When you just make blanket statements and have secretive processes and try to hide all the information. Yes, I've seen the articles, right? If you're not a scientist, you shouldn't question science. We're smart people, right? I mean, if you're on a jury, the legal system, that's my primary profession. We put lay people on a jury to hear issues about medical things, medical malpractice cases, criminal trials around medicine. There can be a lot of different ways where individual citizens, right? We, as citizens in this republic, have the right to ask questions and be engaged. In fact, our representatives, they are designed, our representatives, our senators, our congresspeople, and state level similar systems. These people are empowered to protect you, protect me, protect the world, and they don't have every license known to man. They aren't all lawyers. They aren't all doctors. They aren't all engineers. Yet, they make decisions that impact these things because this is the way our system is built. Our president, same deal, right? He doesn't have a medical license. He makes medical decisions, but that's the way the system's built, right? We have to let human beings be in control of our legal system. And it was designed to have checks and balances in the original system. It's really been contorted so much that the Constitution, in my opinion, doesn't function some of the ways it was originally intended. And I do see some trends in some circles to get back to the old school. But nobody's focused on the big issues. So the lesson for all of us is, if our politicians aren't going to pay attention, we got to make sure that we take care of ourselves, right? You need to be thinking about yourself. And if this thing gets run off the rails, if you are on a runaway train, which many people think the American economy, and even the global system might be, it's a runaway train. It's going somewhere. It's going too fast. It's not under control. Doesn't have a destination. You need to start thinking about, what do you do to protect yourself in that runaway train? Right? It's all about that, right? That is most fundamental. We take care of ourselves, we take care of our family, and then we build the bigger systems from there. We are being forced back to fundamentals because I don't know about you, but I don't trust the leadership we have right now to fix these big issues. Would love to hear your comments. Join me in the comments, folks. And if you enjoy talking about political issues, please subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, because I'll be back talking more about the issues of the day in a way that you're not hearing in the mainstream media, with opinions that you don't see every day. So I hope to join you on this channel. Let's get some common sense solutions. Let's build some answers, and let's work together. I'll see you in the comments, folks. Thanks for tuning in today.